into reality. In the lab with the formula and chemistry. Your memories spark and motivate and make the industry shake. We put the balls to the brakes and talk to one chance at best, yes. Painting pictures for the culture, keep the brushes fresh. Take the drummer with the drummer, passion never rest. Freedom is our teacher under pressure, now we blessed. Got the soul going for the good. There's one heart, one shot, now the future is yours. Go! Yeah, it's one heart, one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
这烂摸了20，即将要属性，下手对就唤醒你 Remember who you fucking with. We started from zero to nothing, getting people to jumping. Just waiting for me， 就待到下个世纪 like 23 like 24 We MVPs, Mamba rest in peace, yeah. I said beat it, serve you at Kobe， 让你记得，我叫什么名 My whole team up and calm me down like the cross and roll it die for the lead. So I said, yeah. All the way. I've been bleeding all I want, cause I do it for the team. 在这环境中不淘气 you know I gotta believe. I need to win, cause I was born to fucking do this thing. 要是没有样的态度，请你 fucking take a leap. I bring it up, I bring it down. 走进了 bar, I didn't even make a sound. I know it now, I'll take you down. 一个眼神让。
双方球员停止赛前练习。好的，现场的各位观众朋友、各位球迷朋友，我们的活动呢将在1分钟之后开始，请大家尽速就座。好的，现场的所有球迷朋友，欢迎来到我们 P.LEAGUE 联盟热身赛第3站台大体育馆的活动现场。我是今天的主持人崇伟。
大家好，我球给彭尊的彭尊。
大家好，我是 Danny。
好了，今天是我们第3站热身赛的第2天，也是我们最后一天的热身赛。今天这么早来的观众朋友啊，你们有福了啊！因为今天你们可以看到6支队伍都亮相。
没错，
洪尊，昨天的比赛你觉得怎么样？
昨天国王跟梦想家哇打得难分难舍，双方呢小跑车的对战。阿吉对上李凯燕，我看了都觉得好喘，
很累，对不对？
很累。那最后呢，梦想家2分带走比赛，所以今天国王呢势必会用更强的气势来争夺热身赛最后一场胜利。
哎呦，那 Danny， 你昨天有没有什么深刻印象？
哇，昨天工程师对上富邦，我只能说两边巨人的战争，我只能说惊天地泣鬼神，而且哭泣的不只是鬼神，还有篮筐。
对，昨天篮筐真的蛮痛。各位，我们今天篮筐都有加配重了，各位，好不好？
我只能说，昨天那样如果只是热身赛的话，各位赶快去买票来看季赛了，好不好
？OK， 大家记得我们票都开始卖了。好，那在今天活动开始之前呢，还是要来介绍一下我们的合作单位，还有我们的赞助商。首先呢，是我们教育部体育署、中华民国篮球协会，以及我们共同主办单位国立台湾大学。
官方指定运动防护品牌 LP， 你的健康精品生宝家电 ，Jameson 与保时捷同行 Porsche， 国际运动品牌 Nike， 奥运指定用球 FIBA 官方指定用球 Molten for the real game，
还有台湾大哥大 Open Possible 能所不能，世界级的新科技好水 Water Gen。麦味登温暖每一天，法式内在保养品牌曼黛玛莲，你生活态度的代名词。台湾手机壳领导品牌 Reno Show 犀牛盾
Always go your own way， 全球品牌最爱用的聊天机器人 Go Sky，Unify 运动气泡椅，酷爽带劲超过瘾 ，Area 02。专业健身器材 BD Sports， 感谢所有我们的赞助商以及合作伙伴，让我们可以呢有这样子一场好的热身赛呈现给大家。
谢谢你们。
接下来啊，要介绍我们今天的开场嘉宾，真的来头非常大。你们可以在各大街舞赛事里面都看到他们，而且他们冠军奖杯无数，也是各大媒体报道宠儿。他们是不是在2020
拿下星光杯青年组哦？青年组的排舞冠军。
对，
那昨天呢，又再一次拿下2连霸的霸主，
而且他们精英队的队伍成员平均只有14岁，9位成员，而且在里面呢，更有我们大师兄林志胜的宝贝千金啊！
好的，现场各位观众朋友介绍了这么多，接下来让我们用掌声和尖叫欢迎我们来自高雄的苹果家族。
Because I can see us holding hands, walking on the beach, our toes in the sand. I can see us on the countryside, sitting on the grassland side by side. You could be my baby, let me make you my lady. Girl, you amaze me, ain't gotta do nothing crazy. See, all I want you to do is be my love. So don't give away my love. So don't give away my love. So don't give away. Ain't another woman that can take your spotlight.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, seniors and youth. Welcome to a Super Sunday of Plus League basketball. 3 games as a final tune-up for our 6 teams. We're here at NTU Sports Center, Taipei P.LEAGUE. And coming into the stadium, we'll present you with our matchup card. Starting things off is the new kids on the block as they take the stage first, the Steelers against the Kings. I'm Ryan Chen along with Coach Ben on for the English commentary of the broadcast as we get things started with pre-game performances and all the like. We'll cover the basketball before we head to the regular season. Our slate of 3 games, getting all the teams involved as a big showing we have here put on by the league. Hey, Coach Ben.
Hey, Ryan, how you doing today?
I am doing very well, thanks to a well-deserved night of sleep. How'd you sleep?
I couldn't sleep. I was so excited for these 3 matchups we got today, Ryan.
That's totally believable. There are our Mandarin commentators for today's broadcast. On the right, that's Tai Jingjing, Tai Bao. And then coach at Zhenzi University, Chen Ziwei. And we'll take you into the pregame performance.
掌声加尖叫给我们的苹果家族，非常的不容易啊！平均年龄14岁，非常非常的厉害。谢谢我们苹果家族，谢谢。而且呢，听说昨天我们大师兄林志胜288轰啊，也是双喜临门。好的，那么马上要来介绍我们今天第一场比赛，将要由新北国王对上高雄钢铁人。首先来介绍我们高雄钢铁人。
强壮的肌肉，未来钢铁禁区守护者，0号戴瑞腾。再次升级，钢铁坦克重装上阵，10号王柏志。承袭南部钢铁般球风，荣耀返乡12号郑德伟。锋线摇摆人，外号大牛，背号12号陆哲义。 联盟助攻王、沉稳杀手、后场指挥官63号彭俊彦。接下来先发5人 ，Starting Five， 稳扎稳打，传真引线，后场小跑车4号陈佑伟。华丽美学，旅美小将大锁登场，背号8号王绿翔。全能锋线轰炸篮筐，钢铁小飞侠7号林君豪。内线霸主最强壮的蓝牛23号蓝少辅。最后的最后，优质射手，球队精神领袖 Captain 13南模吕正儒。教练洪启超，助理教练周公华，总经理张志妍，领队陈冠豪。
好了，接下来要来介绍我们新北国王。球员出场，首先第一位，背号1号李英峰，背号2号林世胜，背号7号小李林立人，背号11号侯凯杰，背号15号小豪曾宇豪，背号28号 Steve 张文平，背号33号杨兴志。Starting Five， 先发5人名单，首先介绍背号3号小敏陈俊南，背号9号李凯燕，背号10号微笑射手解耀哲，背号25号欧巴聂欧马，最后一位阿美战士背号6号杨志立。总教练 Ryan， 助理教练陈世念，助理教练许浩成，助理教练张可群，经理洪志湖。双方球员们到我们场中央握手致意之后，一样我们在场中进行一张合照。
The third game of the preseason for the Steelers and the fourth game for the Kings in their final tune-up before the regular season starts. The Steelers will play on December 5th in Heping Arena, and then the Kings will start the week after. So a little bit of gamesmanship in yesterday's game between Kings and Dreamers, and the Steelers with their own selective strategies. Coach Ben, what was some memorable final preseason games in your memory? Is there any particular goals you had in mind?
Honestly, I think we talked about a little bit yesterday, just talking about trying to know where you need to improve. Like you said, some of these teams will have 2 weeks, some of them will have 3 weeks before the regular season starts. Again, both these teams obviously completely new, starting up as their inaugural season. So both coaches, foreign coaches, so they just want to start to understand these players, start to understand Taiwanese basketball, and get ready to make all these adjustments.
Also a notable thing is these two teams, we expect to rely quite a bit on their imports, but in the preseason, still in quarantine and getting in their self-help management. So we'll bring you the starting lineup soon enough, but 6 rookies will start the game off on the floor. An opportunity time, as the head coaches would say, to get film on them and get some game experience. On the Kings side, Ni Omar will get the start for a consecutive game after Yang Xingzi suffered the broken nose at the new Taipei stop. They might be 0-3, but the Kings did put up 3 games. Questions for them on the pregame graphic. Amigo, does he need to initiate the offense more? And in the center, Omar might be a little lacking experience, not that much time spent at the UVA level. And JJ, his hot shooting is a big factor, and it kind of goes up and down quarter to quarter.
Yeah, obviously JJ, we've talked about before, he's a guy who's prolific scorer in college, coming to a new situation after not getting much time behind a stacked roster on his previous team. So he's got a good opportunity to lead this young team. He's one of the more experienced players on the team, especially when we look at players like Omar in the middle, but he could have a very important role in this team coming forward.
Welcome to all of you watching on YouTube and all the audiences on television. See some familiar faces in the chat already. But we have a long day to go, don't we, Coach?
Oh, but exciting game. Exciting games.
So yesterday, some part of getting used to the Plus League is the FIBA addendum rules, which include the 30-second timeout and the coaches challenge. We'll get to those soon. Yu Zhenlu, Captain Lu, only 17 points on Saturday against the Dreamers last week, but then came back the next day and poured in 35 points against the Braves. He is the #1 guy on their team as a domestic player. His hot shooting from the outside carried them to the victory. So I think it'll be a big question if his body can hold up for the entirety of the season with all the back-to-backs as well.
Yeah, we've talked about how both these rosters are very young. I think Lou probably the most experienced player on both sides today, but he's somebody that has an experience or has a game like he did last week, just being able to lead this young team to a victory. He's somebody that's going to be even more dangerous when you get those imports in, when you get the Coach Barry system involved. I'm sure there'll be a lot of plays run for him. He won't have to create as much offense individually.
To finish that thought up, Yu Zhenlu with an average of 18 shots per game is the most in the preseason so far.
Hey, when you score 35 points, you can shoot as many times as you want.
The players are getting out of their huddles. We'll be ready for the ceremonial tip. Giving the honors for the ceremonial first tip is the league's partners in LP support. Sam Jiang, who did also speak at the league preseason press conference, were also gracious sponsors last year, have been in this industry for a long time in this marketplace and now getting a lot of good exposure here in the Plus League.
I think I may have to talk to him after the game. I got a bum knee. I may need a brace for that knee. Talk to Sam.
Coach, are you thinking about making a comeback?
No.
Like 20 years after your last high school game?
That's the last thing we need.
The starting lineup for the Steelers, top to bottom, Chen Yongwei, Wang Luxiang, Yu Zhenlu, Lin Junhao, and Lan Shaofu. For the Kings, Li Kaiyan, Jian Youzhe, Chen Junan, Yang Jingmian, Ni Oma.
So we can see right off the bat for these Kings, yesterday they went with a very young starting lineup. Today, probably two of the more veteran players, JJ and Kyle, in there. Let's see what different results they have.
The Steelers starting things off, showing off this dark gray slate uniform. Meanwhile, the Kings are in yellow as Captain Lu fires from the top is short. Fight for the rebound is up and down, and Amigo will control for the Kings. Lee Kai-yin didn't start yesterday and was in casual clothes for a lot of the pregame warm-ups as his pass is a turnover. Another Captain Lou three. This time it goes down.
And that's just unexcusable. Just lazy transition defense, allowing Lou to get a walk-up three-pointer in transition. And you cannot let him get started early.
Now it's JJ. Terminated the dribble. Amigo driving and passing into the hands of the Steeler. Out of bounds.
And again, these Kings off to a slow start as we see Lou. Nobody within 5 feet of him. Again, not something you can do to the best shooter in Taiwan.
JJ from the corner, his answer.
And that's that hot shooting we said that he needed to keep up if these Kings are going to have a chance to win some of these games.
To the basket and one is Jerry Kaohsiung.
Same issue. After a corner three, nobody getting back. The point guard able to dribble right down the heart of the defense. But again, JJ's three. But the bigger issue is this layup in transition. Nobody packing the paint, nobody taking away the basket. Again, poor transition defense right to begin this game.
And there's the and one. The Steelers aren't the, say, gigantic team that other teams might present, say the Braves, but they do have the highest two-point field goal percentage at 55% and the second highest pace at 94 possessions per game. So that transition game is important to them. They're on defense now. Steven driving, pushing a shot off the mark. Well, like we say, transition. The Kings spoil it, but with a foul. Captain Lou along with 4 rookies. I believe, if I'm correct, they are all first rounders as Wang Yuxian, Little Lou drains a 3.
Yeah, it's interesting to see now with modern basketball, most teams switching a lot of actions. The Kings right out the tip, not switching a lot of actions. A little bit of confusion on some of these coverages, allowing these open threes for the Steelers.
Maybe a zone look for the Steelers as Amigo forces up a shot. The short. Little Lou to the basket, easy lay-in. Just like that, our first time out in the game by Coach Marchand of the Kings.
Yeah, Coach Marchand obviously not happy with this start. No transition defense, no half-court defense. These Steelers just tearing up the Kings defense to start out with.
第一场比赛，大家热情可能还没有出来哦，没有关系。但是呢，今天一整天3场比赛，希望大家可以一整天都拥有满满的热情。也提醒大家，今天呢，我们现场全面禁止饮食，只能喝水，喝完水就把口罩戴起来。另外呢，如果等一下休息的时间，请大家不要靠在我们栏杆旁边，好吗？那就谢谢大家喽。
Next weekend, take a well-deserved vacation because in 2 weeks, the Plus League regular season begins on December 4th. Braves host the Dreamers on that Saturday. Next day, Sunday, they face the Steelers, both games in Heping Gymnasium.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of result this timeout leads to. Again, just a very, very lackadaisical start from these Kings. Partially due, I'm sure, to having a back-to-back And they played here yesterday where the Steelers were off, but again, no excuse for those effort plays that they haven't been making to start this game out.
No substitutions as we get a quick glance at both benches. Hong Chi-Tao, the head assistant coach for the Steelers, he's running the show until Coach Barry can join them for official practices and games. Kyle driving to the basket, is fouled on his way there.
And that's where we talked about that switching defense. Again, Kyle seeing the big man on him, able to get him on his heels, create the foul, get to the line to get some easy points, hopefully, for these Kings.
The first one goes down. Lee Kai-yen has played the most minutes and took 37, which is tied for the highest field goal attempts for the Kings.
Yeah, he's definitely someone that this coaching staff is going to have to rely on. After a handful of good seasons in the SPL, he's somebody who's going to need to step up on both sides of the ball for these Kings to have a chance.
Loose with a basketball. Here come the Kings. Kyle to Steven on the left side, short. He's there to pick up his own rebound on the deflection.
Yeah, we see right off the bat a more aggressive Kings team, both offensively, defensively, and on the offensive glass. Quick 4-0 run there. Get themselves right back in this game.
Pick and roll doesn't connect. With consecutive turnovers. And Amigo with a straight line drive. The Steelers fell asleep there, but get bailed out by the Fangqiang. Now post up for Captain Liu. This shot doesn't get the roll, and Bill Ling Junhao, we haven't said his name until now, he lays it in.
But again, just no interior presence for these Kings defensively. Omar getting sucked out onto the perimeter. Again, can't imagine Coach Marchand is very happy with that.
JJ driving kick. They're looking for Amigo. Against Little Lou to Omar. His left hand is good.
Yeah, great look by Amigo. Great little loop in by Omar. Putting in that baby hook. Nice movement there by the Kings.
Haven't seen him go to the left hand all of yesterday. Lan Shaofu will lay it in. Another and one.
We saw this happen last week. Again, nobody really helping from the weak side. Again, you let the roll catch that deep. Again, Kyle not sure if he's helping or letting him go. And one opportunity for Lan Shaofu.
Substitutions for both teams. Dundoway Dennis, number 12 on your screen. He's in for Little Lou. And Medium Lou, Wu Zeyi, will take his place along the lane. Is that the name for the position on the free throw line?
That's a very good question. I never thought about that. I just tell guys to line up. They know where to line up, so on the lane probably.
I don't know. I've seen plenty of basketball where the offensive and defensive players take the wrong spot.
I blame the refs for that, though. Always the refs' fault, Ryan.
Should we start a dollar jar for this topic? JJ from the left wing, out. Punch out, and Amigo the recipient.
Again, just active defensively. Not giving up on the play, but we see the exact opposite problem for these Steelers. Too much help on the pick and roll. A wide open three-pointer.
Captain Liu from the top knocks it down.
But again, miscommunication. Not sure if they're showing, switching, weaking it. And Kyle just says, I got this. Dribbles down the entire length of the court for an easy transition layup.
Got bumped off the spot, and Tank will dribble drive to the basket.
Interesting defensive strategy there. Treating Tank as a three-point shooter, allowing the blow-by.
Amigo on the pick and roll will dish, and blocked at the rim is Tank, but there's a foul on Amigo.
Yeah, but another offensive rebound by these Kings. Again, just being very aggressive on the offensive glass. As we see Tank showing off the speed, hitting turbo and getting into the lane, and then Hitting turbo for the jump too. Getting probably above the rim, I assume.
Migo knocks down the free throw. I was going to compliment Tank for having the highest local defensive rebounding percentage, but that's going down really quickly here. 2 for 2.
Yeah, this game's got to start to get going for these Kings on the defensive end. You know, not even halfway through the first quarter, already giving up 21 points. Again, just a comedy of errors right here so far.
Uzi, nice dish, and Tank finishes the reverse.
Yeah, you said a nice movement on the baseline, sucking in the help. But then after a layup, once again, giving up a layup. Both of these young teams not worrying too much about transition defense today.
Screen by Tank. Jerry running out of room. Dennis will pick it up and fire away off the mark. Was open there, but Yuhao passed a little bit too hot.
Yeah, Steelers bailed out by a little hot potato pass there. Not able to get his hands on it as we see Tank again sneaking behind the baseline, on the baseline and putting in the reverse layup. Again, Tank's shown a little bit of everything these few preseason games.
Angry Bird will dish it. Double screen for Captain Lou. His step back is short.
Yeah, it's probably the best switch we've seen from the Kings today. Very clear on their communication, knowing that the big's going to have to step out. Okay, nice stop for the Kings.
Foul and the bucket.
Again, nice little back screen. Flare, able to get Kyle open, and then solid individual play, getting it up on the glass early through the contact.
Just like that. Wang Luxiang for Lu Zeyi. Kind of curious, Coach. Do you think we should call him Little Lou or Small Lou?
Louis.
Some things to ponder and maybe discuss with our chat. Anyways, made free throws. It's a 4-point game. Another turnover. JJ will have a lane to the basket, and the Steelers will call timeout.
As we said, a lot more aggressive defensively after that initial timeout. And that's what you need from these young teams. Probably not going to be great on the game plans. Probably not going to be very clear on personnel, but you can definitely tell them to ramp up the defensive pressure, and it's worked out for them so far in the first quarter.
So talk about things not going to script. One of my pregame notes was Wang Luxiang, Little Lou, in the first 2 games had 9 assists to only 1 turnover, but has already turned it over 2 times in this one. So some growing pains for the rookie.
Well, at least you didn't say it before the game and jinx it. We can't blame you for that one, Ryan.
But it's interesting because he was kind of tasked with playing a combo guard in college for his 1 year at Zhongzhou Keda. And so in this team, it's probably going to be more of a shooter role, or sometimes on the handoff action in their motion offense.
We've mentioned a couple times the Steelers signing Anthony Tucker, a guy who's probably going to have the ball in his hands most of the time. So really, there's not going to be too much of a need for a point guard on this roster. Obviously, they have guys like Chen Youwei, Angry Bird, who are probably more pure point guards, who have more experience playing the position. If you need to give Anthony Tucker a rest and take him off the ball, so. We've mentioned a few times in the preseason, guys kind of playing out of position, playing out of roles that they're used to and that they will be. So now it's just an opportunity to kind of improve a little bit. Speaking of improvement, my boy Tank, again, he's shown a little bit of everything this preseason. Offensively, defensively, being a leader in this new environment. Again, good job by the young big man.
He's set up in the corner in front of us. Now to the dunker spot and back out. Gotta have a tank watch going on. Now he receives, is driving on Drew Hall. The spin move, the righty lay-in.
Like we said, showing a little bit of everything. I think we can count on one hand the number of times he had to drive from outside the three-point line last season. Already a couple times today.
We haven't mentioned, but he's in the game. Sangwon King, Steve-O, with the full-length white underwear. He's defending Captain Lou. Foul on the strip.
And we can see once Angry Bird gets in the game, a little more structure on this offense as we see Tank with a nice drop step middle, scooping it in, up and over the rim with his right hand. But again, Angry's an experienced point guard who's going to be able to settle down some of these younger players. He's a little turnover prone himself, but again, he knows what needs to be done, and he's willing to communicate.
Captain Lou fouled on the shot. Getting some reaction from Steve-O.
But again, a little confusion defensively, and Steve-O getting there late. I mean, he's a shooter. He knows that's a foul.
Is it like a catcher? You can't argue balls and strikes too much because you gotta...
I mean, I don't know if Steve-O forgot that there's replays. I mean, it's a pretty obvious one. As the refs go to see if it's a 2 or a 3, but again, it's like we said, it's game plan things that are tough for young players. When you're switching, how you're switching. Are you getting back after the switch? Are you trapping to get them to kick the ball out? Again, these are things that I'm sure Coach Marchand wants to put in, but with a younger team, a team not familiar with the system, with imports still not being out of quarantine yet, it's really tough for him to have a finished product here on the court during the preseason.
Will be 2 free throws. I think they got it right.
Yeah, it's like KD in the playoffs last year. If you were half the size smaller, that's a 3-pointer. But if you're not going to make your free throws, it really doesn't matter if it's a 2 or a 3. Probably a little more at stake on that KD 3 from last year, too.
Just a little bit. 6 points. Make that 7 for Captain Lou, number 13. He immediately goes to the bench. Unacceptable, right, Coach?
Hey, he hasn't gotten 35 yet, so set a high standard for himself.
KJ, Honkai is in the game. Passes it off. Steve-O trying to run through Tank. Will dish it to Amigo. His 3 is good.
Yeah, not a combination we expect to see. Steve-O with the drive, kick to Amigo, but Steve-O showing a little bit of playmaking ability.
Lucky deflection. Dennis lead to a kick ball.
Yeah, but we see Tank once again doing a good job as we see Steve-O kicking. Weak side getting a little lost. Again, Dennis probably not used to defending a perimeter player, but with the Kings going a little bit smaller, he's forced to defend a little bit out of position.
They inbound from the baseline. Angry to Wang Liu shot. His shot, no. Decent set out of bounds. Look for a better result. Amigo with Ring Hall. Crosses to his left and fires and drills it.
Yeah, King's able to take advantage of that switch right there. Amigo. Solid individual performance.
Here's 10 points in the first quarter for Amigo, the leader of the Kings. Dennis is driving. Tough bank shot.
Go right into Steve-O's body with a little discard. They're able to hit that turnaround fadeaway off the glass.
Opening for Yuha.
Just a beautiful pass from KJ. Yeah, nice performance yesterday, and This is what we like to see from the youngsters, just building on performances.
Hand up to a screen. Getting Uzun Haas for Tank, but he turns it over. I assume, yes, it will be a turnover.
Again, these Kings a little more decisive on their switches here in the second half of the first quarter. We see Amigo recognize the switch and hit the step back. Just a beautiful find there by KJ. Put Yuhao on the roll.
Kings up by 1. Get another switch, and Amigo this time driving. Kicking a Sishan to the right side. It doesn't get the lucky bounce. Last off, it was back in the game.
Yeah, good stop right there by him. As we see Angry turn the ball over into break.
Now a shot from the corner, off the top of the backboard. That would be one of the most impressive force shots from the corner.
We'll wait till he makes it, then start talking about that.
On the switch, Sishan commits the foul.
Again, Sishan with a rough game yesterday, getting the start, but just getting some experience out there. That time, getting caught on the mismatch. Again, Angry, telling his guys to slow down a little bit, look for the mismatch. That's that veteran leadership that these Steelers desperately need.
He does have the highest assist percentage. Wasn't the prolific statistical passer in university level. 41% on the preseason high of 8 in game 3s. Only surpassed by Dahan's 10 in the triple-double that both the coach and I missed on the post-game wrap-up.
That's when you talk about quiet performances. Again, that performance by Dahan for the Pirates last week, very solid, but very understated.
A little bit more than a minute left. KJ, the Steve-O, his corner 3, got it.
Yeah, nice movement back there by the Kings. Everybody in unison. Just confusing that Steelers defense. Not sure who's switching and who's staying with whom. Steve-O hitting the wide open three-pointer.
Bill from the elbow will fire away and all net.
Yeah, tough shot, out of rhythm, mid-range.
Kings forgo the 2-for-1. Deep 3 by Steve-O. Left short. One possession left for the Steelers. Angry Birds directing traffic. We'll get a foul first on the fight for positioning. Two collegiate teammates.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It looked like some of the guys for the Kings were trying to take the foul, even though they're in the bonus. But as you said, two former teammates going to battle in the post, and the result is a Steelers free throw.
Free throw struggles for the Steelers.
So the Kings got that 2-for-1 after all.
0-for-2 trip. Sushin got the foul.
Yeah, good foul right there with the Steelers not in the bonus. Again, 1.45 seconds for these Kings to do something at the end of the first quarter.
They did execute the sideline alley to Lee Kai-in in the waning seconds of yesterday's Kings Dreamers game. It's a different play here. Deep 3 by KJ, banks it home. What a way to finish the quarter.
We said he always takes what the defense gives him. That time they gave him the bank shot off the handoff. Much better second half of the first quarter for these Kings after a rough start.
We'll go to a break. Back with the rest of this game.
欢迎得手。
平板，手要打开，
楼上的朋友，我来了。
犯规啊！ 5 out is good with this group. Remember, we can do. Let's do a little 5 out dribble.
好，
做5 out dribble. 先做右边 hand。
就守那个德伟了，你们要自己去知道啊。对啊，不然2个都同时要球。
没关系，我给这边。球要还我。好，这边。这边是领航员球，我要丢2楼，2楼朋友，让你们有点参与感。来了，来了。对不起，我这球没丢好。等一下拿到小球的朋友，麻烦到我们这边有一位挥手的工作人员，好吗？挥手的工作人员找他集合。第2节结束之前找他集合，好吗？带着那颗小球，那颗小球没有要送你，没有要送你，要还我。
很怕他们带回家，你知道吗？
对，我拿小球。
游戏。
Get your Plus League merch on the official site, pleagueofficial.com/shop. That's hats, hoodies, socks, shirts, and more. pleagueofficial.com/shop. Welcome into the building, or look into the building. Some of the courtside attendants and audience members next to the boss, Charles Blackie Chen. Another look at the last shot with the behind the glass camera.
Yeah, we said that KJ is a guy you really don't have to run plays for, but he's definitely got to be on the court. Again, just able to handle, able to shoot. Again, a nice little utility player for Coach Marchand to start using this season.
Only 14 minutes played in each of the first 2 games in New Taipei, but 28 yesterday for a team high 17 points. Block shot means the Kings need to reset. Rear Hall's mid-range, no. Jerry controlling. They're trying to go to the mismatch. Hit Salfu, but he's doubled. Now medium Lou splashes the 3.
Yeah, great job to save that possession. Just sprinting to the corner, give his teammate an outlet, and then nice shot making.
Taijie on Salf. Early scoop layup and in.
Once again, these Kings doing a good job identifying the mismatch. And these smalls just attacking and showing creative finishes at the rim.
Salfu with a handoff. Jerry spins, puts up a wild one. He thought he got hit.
Yeah, it's because he did get hit. But
now KJ drives, dishes. Your Hall step through and one.
Again, nice drop step. Sealing the defense, getting in their middle. You see KJ again. Those off-foot finishes, so tough to defend, and then Yu-Hao getting that chicken wing out. Not much interior defense for these Steelers. So we see Tank coming in to solidify the defense.
Daniel Hall and Omar probably having a little easier day, just by a little bit, Coach, after facing Brandon Gilbeck in yesterday's game.
Yeah, a lot fewer elbows in the face today. especially after a couple weeks ago going against Jaguar as well. So these guys deserve a little bit of a break.
Pick and roll leads to a Bill 3. He rolls it in.
And that's where Bill's really improved. Not really much of a shooter in college. There, just stepping into the three-pointer. Nice make for the youngster.
When we watch pregame, him and sophomore, the more accurate Steelers.
You got to give them a lot of credit for that. Just guys who weren't shooters in college, but knew that if they wanted to get some time on the court, that they were going to have to work on that part of their game. And again, we see KJ just manufacturing points, getting on the offensive glass with a nice tip-in right there.
Captain Lou to tank. He drives, but his block, not enough hops. Dish and lay in by Steven.
Yeah, and we've seen the Kings do that this whole game, taking advantage of miscues on the Steelers side, and coming down on the fast break and finishing themselves.
Tank cherry pick, but got stopped. 2 defenders after all on him. KJ shot with a foot pop, but no.
And we can see here that Steelers trust Lou to kind of settle them down a little bit. That time with the miscue again in transition. Trying to look at the mismatch. Probably not the best angle, but again, KJ just always being around. That time tipping the ball. This time with a nice find on the break. He, again, in front of his former college coach, who's sitting on the sideline. KJ with a solid performance again today.
He doesn't have a high number of assists, but so far in the preseason, he has some of the prettiest ones. Steve-O to the basket with a right-hand finish.
Yeah, these Kings, after starting out very lethargic, starting to get into a rhythm right now and starting to defend. That helps a little bit too.
Up by 9. Captain Lou to tank. Easy lay-in.
Just great patience zone by the captain right there. Able to put his defender in jail, and Tank once again finding room behind the defense.
Air ball, and Dennis with the rebound. Got 11 on 11 action going on, but KJ deflects for a steal. Now Kyle ran into a Steeler, might have ran into Omar too.
It's gotta be a U, no? The Tank with the two-hand shove in transition. You can't do that.
Now this is the Mandarin lesson we couldn't complete last season, was Ge San Danyo.
You gonna teach us this, or are you just gonna?
I tried last season. I think it was it Zheng Wending who committed such a foul when he pushed to beat into, I think it was Ling Mi-yi.
Zheng Wending's committed many fouls. I'm sure that's one of them.
You got a stat for that, Coach?
I can't count that high.
They'll go to the monitor and look at this one.
Yeah, a little frustration there. Usually it's Tank sprinting down and sealing defenders behind him. This time Omar did the exact same thing to him. And again, after a couple rough possessions, turnovers, missed shots, he took out his frustration right there with the shove in the back. Definitely not a basketball play. And hey, the refs agree with me. I love it when I can say that, right?
Happens all the time, doesn't it?
Not as much as you'd think.
Maybe we should keep track of that. We'll get another look at that one. There's a 32-kilogram advantage, if you could say. Wang Bozi Tank over Omar. He'll go to the bench.
Yeah, coaching staff recognize he's a little bit frustrated, getting him out. And we'll see our first action this season for the Steelers.
Taipei.
What are they? The international students? I forget. That's why you're here, Ryan.
Right. The Wai Jisen in Mandarin.
I wasn't asking for a Mandarin lesson, Ryan.
Well, you're getting one anyways.
And what does that mean in English?
We called it the overseas Taiwanese student exception.
There you go.
So Dairiton number 0. P.LEAGUE Jianxing University. There's a steal attempt by Dennis. Dairiton doing rehab work last week, so didn't get to play in front of the home fans. To the corner, to the wing. Jerry's floater, and got it on the second attempt. Foul from behind, it seems.
Yeah, it's been a rough start to the season for the rookie, but nice job there with the soft floater, not able to put it in, but able to put it back.
Another look at that one. Forgot to box out the floater shooter, but that's a tough assignment, Coach, right? Because his momentum going to the basket. Can't really stop him with your body on a box out.
Yeah, that's why these guys are sneaky good offensive rebounders. Somebody like Tony Parker or John Morant. Again, they're able to get a lot of their own offensive rebounds.
Steve-O from the top. Big rainbow and big make.
Again, Steve-O with the celebration afterward. But yeah, that's a play that the Kings have run a number of times. Still going to have to figure out how they're going to defend it.
There's the first bucket for Derek.
And that's what the youngsters got to do. And just come in there, work hard on the boards, get some rebounds, talk on defense, protect the rim, and start from there.
Steve-O to Omar. His lefty rolls it in.
Again, once again, showing that left-handed finish. Yeah. Once again, these Kings starting to show a little bit of life on offense here.
Captain Lou on the rookie. Steven, his turnaround J is money.
Tough assignment for the rookie. Again, one-on-one in an island against one of the best scorers in Taiwanese history.
College teammates pick and roll behind the back pass to a turnover. Screen and a push foul.
And you could hear Kyle telling his teammate trap. Again, they push that sideline, pick and roll, baseline, and then if it's close, just go ahead and trap it. Unfortunately, getting the foul as we see Lou with a nice step back again. Tough area to run that pick and roll against the trap, but a little too handsy for Kyle.
Just the second team foul. Dennis thought about it. He has Amigo on him. One-handed dish into the hands of the Kings. Captain Lou with a foul. Trying to get fancy there.
Yeah, after that rough start to the game, the Kings were really stepping up their defensive pressure. Again, we saw them calling for the trap on the last possession, and those are those fouls that you can kind of live with. Aggressive fouls, fouls where you're getting into the offense. It's really changed the game.
Amigo, Kyle trying to go backdoor. He's fouled on his way up, so much for being far away from bonus free throws.
Yeah, again, just Captain just a little bit slow on the switch. Kyle able to get into his body and create the foul, and that's what we've seen as this game progresses. Just these Kings being a step faster than the Steelers, and a little bit more aggressive on both sides of the ball.
Lee Kai-yin makes the first. Rolls in the second. He has 8 points. Chance for the Steelers to get Captain Lou off. For medium Lou.
Lou for Lou.
It's going to happen a lot with the Steelers.
Probably a little bit less as the regular season starts. My guess is Captain Lou probably isn't going to have a lot of time on the bench. unless he's in foul trouble.
Steal on the drive attempt. Here come the Kings. Steven from the right side. His shot rolls out. Bounces harmlessly to Little Lou. Deep shot from Medium Lou. Way off the mark. Good hustle leads to the Kings half break.
We can see with this pace, a lot of mismatches in transition.
Read by Kyle, out. There's another turnover. And it looks
another
like
turnover. And almost another turnover. Expansion teams in preseason basketball, Ryan.
well, another one of those. They ruined Ryan Chen's pregame scripting. As a team, the Kings had the least amount of turnovers by a large margin. Now Derek's mid-range shot, 2 bounces and out.
And we can see both sides after basically running up and down for 3 minutes straight, just exhausted here, trying to slow it down. And just a poor defensive possession for the Steelers, helping too much and then laid out to the shooter. And all Medium Blue can do is foul.
Assafu's back in the game. Clinks that one. Chen Junan started one game in the new Taipei stop.
Again, realistically, these Kings are fighting for 2 spots in the starting lineup. You're definitely going to have 2 imports. Amigo's pretty much a given, I would assume. But then around them, is it going to be KJ? Is it going to be JJ? Is it going to be Ryan? Oh, sorry, Kyle.
I would love to have the honor.
Yes. I should have said it's going to be Ryan making that decision. That's what I meant. As we see more Globetrotters action here on both sides.
At some point, I guess goes to show the importance of having point guards slowing the pace down instead of pushing it.
Well, we've talked about it over the past couple weeks. In Taiwan, it's really a game of speed. Again, when something's not working, hey, just do it faster. But that doesn't necessarily work at these higher levels, as slippery balls all around. Again, when the skill level increases, again, you can't just use speed as an antidote to everything. You got to slow down, you got to execute. And that's something that some of these young players are finding out on the job right now.
7 turnovers for the Kings, 13 for the Steelers. Gotta ask, how many of those are unforced? Now Medium move from the top, all net.
Again, a guy who's shown the ability to hit those threes. That pin down that the Steelers have been running, going under, creating a wide open shot.
Timeout by the Kings. They want to get organized for the last 3 minutes of the first half. You're watching the Plus League preseason.
来，大家注意一下我们大荧幕，我们要准备玩 Ken 喽。
大家可以整理一下服装仪容啊，梳梳头发，补补眼妆哦。
还好现在戴口罩，补妆的部分就比较轻松。
来跟我们镜头挥挥手 ，Wave your hand， 嗨！
国王的球迷们
，OK，
3分球，3分球。
戴帽子玩手机的蓝色帽子的美女，嗨！
Thumbs up on the video， 观众们帮我们直播按赞。 Maybe that lady on her phone is watching the broadcast.
I can almost guarantee she's just giving us some likes over there. Too busy to look up at the camera. I would expect most people at home are doing the same thing. Do we have a goal for likes today, Ryan? Did we get our goal yesterday?
Yes, we did. Tight game between the Lioneers and Braves, and we did hit our goal before the broadcast concluded. So good job to us, good job to all the fans watching.
I'm sure we'll hit our goal today. Do we have a goal?
Should we let the audience set it, or is that a little too dangerous?
I don't trust I trust the audience about as much as I trust my players. Which is to say, completely trust them.
I was gonna say that seemed like a trick question.
It was. You understand me too well.
Kyle on Lan Shaofu. He gives it up to JJ, who got lost by the defense, and he punishes them.
Yeah, angry, getting ready to help on that mismatch, losing the shooter in the corner. Nice find, nice make.
Deonta was 4 for 4 in yesterday's game, and Shaofu clanks that deep three. Give and go, Kyle leaves it short.
Yeah, once again, we see these Kings attacking this switching defense, and we see the wily vet, hey, making that layup after cherry picking. As these Steelers continue to be very sloppy with the ball.
Angry, hangs in the air, can't finish. More Kings speed. Now on the post-up, nice steal. Little Lou, 2-on-1. Through the hands of Yuhao, and there's 2 points for Lan Shaofu.
Yeah, great help from behind. Able to just get that steal against the mismatch, and then nice find on the break.
15 assists for the Kings, 10 for the Steelers. Not quite offsetting the turnovers. Out of bounds off the defense.
Nice rotation there, able to tip away that baseline pass. As we see, the Steelers coaching staff not thrilled with all these turnovers. Putting some subs in.
Including number 13, Captain Lou. Amigo with a deep three. Short because I guess he wanted to get set on defense. Out of bounds. Jerry, I think he's got something taped on his chin now. We'll drive and dish to the corner. Shaofu. High bounce out.
And that's where, as much as we say, guys like Shaofu and Bill have been working on that outside shot, defenses really don't believe it. We see a nice find by Amigo, great roll right to the front of the basket, and another turnover for these Steelers. Again, these Kings doing a good job of just attacking this Steelers defense, knowing what spots to go for. And we'll see if these Kings go 2 for 1 or just get one good shot before the half.
The count is 15-8 in the turnover margin. I guess turnover total. The margin is 7.
Oh, you and your math, Ryan.
AJ shot off balance, and Captain Lou will control. Jerry.
Yeah, with the Kings far away from the bonus. You can probably expect another foul here.
Don't know how committed the foul, but probably took the blow. And indeed, elbow to the face. He's kind of recovered at this point.
Yeah, that's the last thing that these Kings need to see. Another one of their bigs go down. Already short of an import and a local big.
Five seconds left. Jerry to the basket. No one there to stop him. That'll be the end of the first half. Turned into a high scoring affair, 61-53.
Yeah, not much defense there from either team in the first half. We'll see what adjustments they make at halftime and see what they can do in the second half today.
We'll go to a break and be back with some halftime analysis.
对，都放那里，没错，这个在那里。游戏规则是什么？彭尊，你介绍一下。
非常非常简单，每一次拿到球上完篮之后，你可以拼一个拼图，
一片。
对，你只要拼完4片呢，要拼对，你就赢得这一场比赛。所以你最少你就要进4球了。
好，大家有听懂了吗？再跟大家讲一次，有2个，每一次有2一组2个人，一个人上篮进球之后可以回来拼一片拼图，所以你至少要进4颗球，你才可能完成这一个拼图。
没错。
好，我们先来第一组，来，第一组朋友，来2个，来，
我来帮大家分配一下，他负责哪一个，好不好？
好。
那我一个在我左边，那右边就负责拼 LP 的，那左边呢就拼 P.LEAGUE。
来哦，等一下哦，知道怎么做哈？上篮哦，要上到进哦，知道了哈？
不进就把它补进。
好，来听我们 DJ。
3, 2, 1,
Go！
出发！
上篮完，
哎，要补进哦，要补进哦！
赶快，在这边拼，对，
这边。但我必须说 ，P.LEAGUE 比较难 ，LP 的拼图是比较简单一点点。
他们现在都还没有拼出个雏形来。哎呦，
哎，是不是有一点紧张啊？想说平常篮下应该是没问题的。来，深呼吸一口气。好，没问题。来第2片，
空间感很好哎，他已经快要完成了。
我昨天晚上怎么拼都拼不了。
我帮他扶一下。
好，我们黑色的同学要把最后一块拼上。
比赛结束，
恭喜你！
好，来，非常可惜啊。那没事，2位参与的朋友呢，先到旁边休息一下，等一下再请你们上来。好了，第一组当示范组啊，第2组的朋友要稍微拼得快一点啊。
来，第2组的朋友。那工程师的朋友帮我站左边好了，然后这位帮我站右手边。所以等一下呢，你就负责拼 LP 的，然后你这边就负责拼 P.LEAGUE。那我们就 DJ 准备一下，上篮投篮都可以。
2, 1,
Go！
出发！还有一个错脚步的上篮，这边呢？来，我来帮你瞧一下。哦，崇伟，你这边好像那个
我的人都蛮聪明的，
对，上篮命中率
我觉得我这边的朋友都会上篮，又蛮聪明的。
哎，记得要拼对哦，所以你不是拿出来而已，你可能要稍微动一下脑筋。
他是不是对 LP 的 logo 不太熟悉？其实那边有一个 LP 的 logo。比赛结束，
恭喜我们工程师的粉丝。
OK， 好，谢谢。那2位旁边稍作休息一下。
其实 LP 的 logo 是比较好拼的，
LP 的 logo 真的比较好拼，
对，
好不好？ 最后一组，来，我们最后一组。来，请上来，快！
It's halftime here inside NTU Sports Center, the site of the Plus League's third stop of the preseason. I'm Ryan Chen along with Coach Ben, your English commentators. On screen, our colleagues on the Mandarin commentary side, Taipei and Ziwei. Coach Ben, we were looking through the box scores as we do during the breaks, and right now, one big glaring difference is the difference in three-point attempt margin. The Kings have got up 21 three-point attempts. The Steelers just 14, even though they're shooting a better percentage. But that kind of goes to show the transitory nature of the game and the flow so far.
Yeah, well, it's hard to get up a lot of shots when you're turning the ball over every possession, Ryan. It's just the Steelers' biggest issue in this game. Again, after a hot start, they had 21 points in the first 6 minutes. After that, they really slowed down, and the Kings defense started to take effect.
We also getting a look at the ever-popular Tank putting in some work. He started the game off really smooth and really in rhythm, but then we had the unsportsmanlike foul, kind of indicative of the frustrations he had.
Yeah, again, after a hot start, Tank a little frustrated offensively as he got blocked, as he got pushed out of his spots, and took his frustration out before that U on the defensive side. So again, it's what you expect with young players. We just got to go in at halftime and kind of calm them down, let them know what to do in the second half, and hope for some improvement.
We've got a lot of rookies on the floor this game. Who's impressed you the most among the two teams?
I think KJ for the Kings. Again, he continues to be a guy who doesn't need the ball in his hands the entire time, but he'll come up with a timely assist or a nice cut, or as we saw at the end of the first quarter, a nice banked in three as the buzzer. So again, signs of life here for these rookies.
Well, we hope to see good basketball for the last day of the Plus League preseason. One more break, one more segment before the second half.
大家给我们2位一点掌声好不好？我看的都觉得蛮辛苦的。好，我们请6位朋友都上来好吗？我们请6位朋友都上来。
帮我站这边。
大哥不要走，大哥不要走，不要走。来，我们留在中间。
我们大家一起合影一下。
对。那大哥在。那我们要请出我们 LP 的 Chen 来为我们颁奖。Chen， 有请。来，工作人员帮我把我们的奖品拿出来。来，获胜的3位可以拿到我们 LP 和联盟一起提供的这一位，然后还有我们工程师这一位。好，另外3位呢也有我们参加奖。对，另外3位我们参加奖，获得我们 LP 提供的精美小赠品。好，再帮我们站中间一起合影，好不好？大家帮我们左手边跨一步，我们
自重一下，
对，好，谢谢。来看一下，女生也再往右边一点点，对，好，谢谢。OK 吗？再一张。OK， 好，谢谢
你们，
请回座 ，Chen， 请回座，谢谢。那也要感谢 LP 今年对于我们整个联盟的大力支持啊！作为我们官方指定的防护运动品牌，大家如果呢喜欢 LP 的产品，今年 LP 呢跟我们联盟也有出对色的联名商品，在外面呢有他们的摊位，大家可以去逛一逛6队的对色的商品，好不好？如果你喜欢的话，就可以赶快去询问一下我们 LP 的工作人员。另外，刚刚有说中场加入我们官方 LINE 账号就可以参加抽奖。如果你还没有加入的话，请看大荧幕有我们的 QR code。
Hey fans, 有点意思。Follow the Plus League on all the social media accounts: Facebook P.LEAGUE with a plus symbol, P.LEAGUE with a plus symbol. Instagram, p.league.official, and Twitter, @p_league_en. The teams will switch sides for the second half. As we look at the leading scorers for each team, Captain Lou with 9 points, and then followed by Tank with 8. So does Jerry. Bill Ling Junhao was 7, and Medium Lou Zeyi was 6.
Yeah, no surprises there with Lou leading the scores. Again, off to a very hot start. A couple threes very early in the first, and then free throw on that turn away, fade away. But other than him and Tank, a little bit of a struggle for some of the youngsters.
On the other side, Amigo with 10 first quarter points, 12 overall, followed by 3 guys with 8, including Steve O, JJ, and Kyle. And then the rookie Zheng Hall didn't start the game, but has 7 points. Now, we mentioned having a little bit of easier time, and with Omar having his ups and downs, those 2 guys will share the floor.
And that's where he said that the Kings may not look great here in the preseason, but less of an issue going into the regular season as their 4 most experienced players, people who are probably going to rely on more once the regular season starts, having good performances here in the first half. So again, preseason is preseason. Got to kind of take everything with a grain of salt and then extrapolate to what you think you'll see in the regular season.
An interesting stat you only get from the Plus League website is Zheng Hall with a plus-minus of 19 so far.
Plus 19?
Plus 19. One more break before the second half. The P.Book, last year's Plus League publication. We're still waiting on this year's publication, Coach. Any particular player you want to get a deep dive on?
I'm very interested in this rookie class. Again, a lot of high-profile rookies with a lot of expectations. And I think a lot of our fans from overseas may be a little less familiar with who they are because it's tough to follow Taiwanese basketball from overseas. So, I don't know, are we sending those overseas or do we have digital copies, Ryan?
Not quite yet, though I have been told there will be English articles in this year's.
Hey.
So that's something to look forward to.
Have you been told that because you wrote them or no?
I cannot reveal that information.
Okay. Good. Well, good thing it's just you and me talking right now then, huh?
Chen Xingsen, Phil Chen in the number 21 Bitcoin jersey. Yesterday we had poor weather outside, so Fans probably coming in a little bit more eagerly, but today, 29 degrees Celsius. It's about 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Better chance for everybody to get outside and check out the team booth, as well as LP and Sampo.
Isn't it November, Ryan?
It is November.
It can't be 29 degrees in November.
Maybe the powers that be decided we needed a summer league kind of feel.
That's good. I'm sure that's the next step for the P.LEAGUE. Go to a nice summer league. Again, with baby steps, and we're all excited about this second season coming up in a couple weeks.
Fan waving the signs for Steve. Oh, Zhang Wenping. As the buzzer will sound, signaling the end of halftime. There's Jerry Chen Youwei, second overall pick by the Steelers.
And he's fortunate, and at one, he's going to get a lot of playing time this season. Obviously playing for an expansion team, but also because he's playing with some experienced point guards that he can learn a lot from. Again, we talked about Angry Bird being a veteran, not just of the national team, but a guy who's won championships, multiple championships here in the SPL, and then Anthony Tucker, obviously just an unbelievable scoring talent and able to create opportunities for everybody. So again, great learning opportunities for the rookie if he chooses to take them here in this first year.
As the second half gets started, Deng Hall fouls Captain Liu. Little Liu on another rookie, Steven. He now has Lansalfu on him. Dribble off the foot, and there's a turnover first for the Steelers in the second half.
And again, after starting the game, not doing much switching, King's done much more switching and has had very good results going forward.
Big boots by Amigo, steps on the sideline.
Yeah, you said it, that big old feet. I don't think Amigo realizes they called what he did previously, not what he's doing right now. Again, his national team teammate, Lou, telling him to watch the replay. Film don't lie, Ryan. Film don't lie.
Oh, after that educational situation, Captain Liu throws it to a King.
After all those turnovers in the first half, the Steelers come out and do the exact same thing here in the second half.
Starters for them as Amigo shot off to the right. Tries to steal back.
Again, just much more invested on the defensive side of the floor here in the second half for these Kings. And it's definitely paying off on the scoreboard.
With another opportunity, Salfu with a turnaround. Right.
And we've seen these Kings be very comfortable with guys going one-on-one in the post. Again, not offering too much help. As Salfu gets a block and a little something to say and a little stare after the fact. Again, beautiful block there. And a little something after the fact for Kyle.
Only the second by the Steelers, only one for the Kings. From the right wing, stripped. Captain Liu, 2-on-2, lays it in with the left hand.
Yeah, and that's where the experience of Liu and those years getting in the weight room, not much the Kings rookie can do about that.
Left alone is Uhal. Overshoots the interior shot. Now Amigo's through from the corner. Another long rebound, and Kyle's there. Nice dish, JJ.
And these Kings just quicker to the ball. All those loose balls seem to be falling into their hands, and that's one of the reasons they're up by 8 currently.
Shot fake, and now medium range shot. Bill out. There's a foul on the loose ball. Looks like by Steven, who's got a little bit of a limp.
Yeah, he's taking himself out of the game.
I think it might be in a Charlie horse on a previous play.
Looks like a cramp over there as the trainer goes out to stretch him, but yeah, the college teammates once again getting into it, and Steven once again getting called for the foul.
Jerry with a step back. Zigo's face.
Again, maybe Anthony Tucker's already started teaching Jerry how to do some things like that.
JJ from the corner, out. Fortunate, ooh. I guess I should slow down my rebound calls. So Captain Lou driving with a tough shot.
Yeah, a little bit of a force there. Not much room. Tough angle as these Kings once again take advantage of poor transition defense from these Steelers.
According to the box scores, the Kings with 12 fast break points, just 2 by the Steelers. Jerry running out of space and room. Little Lou the southpaw overshoots that wing 3.
And that's something where having more experienced teammates will really help Jerry out. That baseline drive, teammates have to make themselves available. Again, he's got to jump in the air to make a pass, not find that pass, but teammates definitely got to help him out a little bit.
There's a rough screen by Southpaw.
Yeah.
So after blocking the shot and giving him some attitude, Kyle's trying to get back at him.
Definitely taking exception to that one. I think Southpaw got in trouble because he wasn't sure if he was going to sprint down under the basket, and at the last second decided to set a very late drag, and easy call for the refs there. And again, Kyle understandably upset as he took the worst of that collision for sure.
Third personal for Lan Southpaw. Kings on offense, up by 7. Amigo with the lane. Wild shot. Jerry to Captain Lou, his 3. No.
Yeah, that's going to be a challenge for these Steelers. Obviously, when Lou has 35, everything looks good, but when he's not making shots, can these Steelers figure out other ways to win?
Go way to the basket, leaves it short. 3-on-2, Steve-O to Amigo, and 1. Missed layup on one end.
Every time, and a lot of interior passing there for the Kings. Not the most textbook fast break, but hey, and 1 opportunities are something that I'm sure Coach Marchand's looking for more of.
Well, technically they made it into a 2-on-1. Isn't that the directive?
Hey, as long as it goes in, coaches are happy. That's not true. Coaches are never happy, Ryan.
I was waiting on that. Captain Lou over the head of Tank, who was diving instead of stepping out.
Yeah, Lou, after that unbelievable performance last week, obviously getting a little bit more defensive attention. Turning him into a passer is certainly working out for these Kings. He's falling into that habit of turning the ball over as well.
5 individual turnovers, 19 by the Steelers. Good defense by Dennis. Now he switched on to Kyle. Tough assignment, and his step back rolls in.
Tough shot, but again, he's somebody that these Kings can rely on to create shots. That time off an individual drive.
Kyle jumped the pass, forced the Steelers to inbound from the backcourt. But first, the TV timeout. Back with the third quarter.
算是再给我们一次机会了，因为昨天呢没有发射成功。
你负责前面的。
Make sure we can test the hand straight up and get.
我这真的只能是2楼观众了，因为这个火力是
1楼太危险了，2楼山顶的朋友，
我试试看橘色的小朋友，好不好？
来了哦，山顶的朋友。
3、2、1，哎，跟我想的不一样。
山顶的朋友，这样可以吗？
帮我充饱一点气，我们再挑战一次2楼。
有被照顾到吗？山顶的朋友。
现在最紧张的是在装枪的朋友。
这边我打高一点，要不然打到会很痛。这边的朋友要吗？
我们加油
Hello, everybody, and welcome into NTU's Sports Center, the site of the third stop of the Plus League preseason. Amigo getting instructions on the bench of the new Taipei Kings. On the other side, Hong Ji-Tao breaks the huddle for the Steelers. Hong Ji-Tao's been putting in work at the academic levels of basketball, as we see some of the highlights by the Kings, opening up the game a little bit with currently an 11-point lead.
Yeah, we see some of the guys that these Kings are going to rely on during the regular season. We guys, whether it's Amigo, Kyle, or JJ, again, starting to get that chemistry after have not been on the same team for very long. And definitely things to be excited for Kings fans and more importantly, this Kings coaching staff.
Little Lou driving, scoops with the left hand and in.
That's again what we talked about earlier. They did such a good job on their switching defense that time, deciding to stick with their own, but not really sticking with anybody, allowing that easy layup.
Dribble handoff, mismatch, but Amigo is pushed out to the perimeter. And then Little Lou commits the foul.
But again, we see Amigo just going after that mismatch. And before that foul, Little Lou able to get to the rim and lay it in.
Notably, Wang Liushan played at Zhongzhou with 3 Mongolian players who look to make it pro basketball players in Taiwan. We'll look forward to next year's offseason, including Baisa, Talu, and Zuger.
I like that little accent you threw on it, Ryan.
Dennis blows the layup. Flare screen, but Kyle's covered by Angry Bird. Now the pick and roll, poked it out of bounds by Angry.
Yeah, good job by Angry there, just being able to get his hands in the passing lane. Going against the bigger, how are you?
Zheng Yuhao.
Yeah. These guys got to get English names, Ryan.
KJ to the other corner. Kyle guarded by Tank. How will he overcome? Bumped off the spot. So actually Tank's size and strength working against him.
Yeah, Tank continue to be frustrated today. Again, Kyle being forced to his left hand, and that little tummy bump draws the attention of the ref.
Jerry jumps Amigo's pass and throws it wide to Steve-O. Nice finish by Amigo through Tank this time.
Yeah, but again, we talked about how teammates need to help each other out. Amigo with the baseline drive, nobody really making themselves available with the turnover, but as we seem to have said too many times, the Steelers with the turnover of their own.
In the steals category, 14 by the Kings, 7 by the Steelers. One more from Gonchar. Nice step through for the 2 points.
Nice little Euro step in transition. Sound like a broken record. These Kings take advantage of another Steelers turnover.
10 points for the French Taiwanese. Little terminated the dribble. Interior pass, Tank, the benefactor.
Yeah, nice ball movement, nice interior passing between the two big men. Able to take advantage of a sleeping Kings defense.
Speed advantage, Steve-O driving and dishing. Looks like to be between KJ or Amigo. KJ lays it in.
Again, able to make something out of nothing. Not much spacing on that strong side. KJ still able to elevate and put it in over the help defense.
Dennis from mid-range, strong. Backdoor, easy 2 points and a timeout coming up for the Steelers.
Just lack of effort there on the Steelers and nobody really getting back defensively. As a young team that might not be able to execute offensively, that's something that you're going to need to hang your hat on. Again, defensively, you got to hustle and get back and hopefully help defenders in position to stop those drives. But again, we see Tank getting taken advantage of twice in a row. Once going over the top of him, the second time able to back cut him, as we see these Kings just come to life on the offensive end.
Kind of interesting to think,
Remember, you're the reverse.
as we see the graphic, 16 points by Amigo leads the team, as does his 7 assists. Interesting to think whether your defensive strategy wants to be aggressive and force turnovers, or more the traditional force a miss and get the rebound, especially the two teams playing only local players.
Yeah, again, that's where I'm sure Coach Barry's watching right now, trying to figure out what kind of guys he has on his roster and how they're suited to play. Again, we've seen them throughout this preseason pretty much switching everything and then allowing the teams to go at those mismatches. We're not sure if Coach Barry's going to do the same thing, or if he's going to come out with some more traps or some more zone defenses. I'm sure he's been able to tell some stuff to his assistants, but obviously don't have the entire package in. So again, it's really a mystery for us as fans, as commentators. I'm sure somewhere as players, it's still a mystery to them. So again, he'll hopefully have some film on these guys that he can go back over the next couple weeks and tweak things and be ready for the start of their regular season.
Full court pressure by the Kings. They back off after the inbound. Lisa Shin on Angry Bird. Backdoor, Little Lou waits for the jump. Gets the foul by Kyle.
Yeah, nice job getting the defender in the air. Good initial action out of that timeout. And Little Lou going to the line.
I say it all the time about shot blocking big men, but I think the same thing applies to jumpy, smaller players like Kyle. Leapers are gonna leap.
They are. They get to be paratroopers there, just hanging in the air, and if you can go up and through them, give yourself an opportunity to go to the line for either an and one or, like we saw there, 2 free throws.
I never connected paratrooper with basketball.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them out there, as we see the Kings going to, the Steelers going to a trap near the sideline and getting a little too handsy.
Goes to show, like, experience how Kyle turned around away from the double, checking the basketball. He'll go to the line.
And that's where these locals have to have some chemistry amongst themselves. Again, you're trapping, but are you trying to turn them and get the steal? Or are you just trying to push them baseline and trap? Again,
There's lots of different ways to do these things, and it's a lot for these young players to learn in a short period of time, especially jumping from college to the pros. Yeah, but still, many exciting things to look forward to. That's a nice little baseline spin and fadeaway. That's something that we can look forward to seeing more of.
Kaohsiung with 11 points, joining 2 others with that mark, including Jerry and Captain Lou. Devo turns around, gets it back. His 3, no. Another offensive board. Now KJ rattles home one.
Again, and a nice initial defensive possession, kind of ruined by a lack of a box out and lack of a contest, and these Kings making these Steelers pay.
One of the worst blown interior shots by Dennis. Just like that, fast break points for the Kings.
Again, regardless of whether or not he traveled, the Steelers just got to keep playing. Again, getting too worked up by things they really can't control now, as this game slowly starts to get away from them.
Must be saving Captain Lou for the 4th. Lewis's shot off iron.
That's what we were saying. Again, just an unbelievable heroic performance last week in front of the home crowd for Captain Lou. I mean, if you're going to rely on that every week, it's going to be a very long season, not just for the team, but for Lou individually.
Yihao working on Jerry, had his shot blocked. There's Captain Lou. To the mismatch. Fouled right away by Sixuan. They do have a foul to give.
Yeah, I don't think he was fouling because he had a foul to give. I just think he didn't want to defend that possession. Nobody behind him telling him where the help was coming from. Really no bigs to help. So he just said, yeah, I'm good. I'm just going to take the foul.
2 substitutions for the Kings. I believe this is the first time number 7 Xiao Li is in the game. So initially ready for free throws, but it'll be a baseline out of bounds.
I should have just listened to you, Ryan. You told them they weren't in the bonus.
So I got to call the game and officiate the game?
Yeah, you may be able to do better. No.
Let's not go there.
Shouldn't be saying those things, Ryan.
Let's not. Bill from deep. That is a brick if I've ever seen one. KJ. I never really understood that, Coach. Xiao Li pass fake, then pass to the same guy. It's one of those instinctive plays that I don't know if it makes much sense. A step back by Xiao Li.
Understated reaction after a make, something that we rarely see from him. Again,
maybe he's waiting to make a second one.
Maybe. Again, one of the more flashy players we have in the league as Bill puts up another brick.
Wu Ziyi with the offensive board, another chance. Angry. Behind the back. Across the little loose shot blocked by Sixuan.
Another good defensive possession there. Bill is a roller, really not much of a threat. Knowing that the shot clock's running down. Going right to the ball side, no risk of fouling. Great possession for the Kings, closing out this 3rd quarter.
Now Sixuan with the drive. Xiao Li, pump fake, his shot, short. All right, so number 2, Li Sixuan with his first block of the preseason. Get that little tidbit in there. Before we go to break, the rest of Kings Steelers from NTU Sports Center.
我们现场全面禁止饮食，除了喝水之外，麻烦你就把口罩戴好。 来，跟着我们的 Ken 一起比个爱心。Do the move, same move, right? Okay, it's a heart. 嗨，
可以两个
比个爱
人一起
心，，
哎，也可以两个人组合
对，可
一下，
以一起
没有问题。，
很棒。不要玩手机。
来，朋友帮忙一下。
OK，很棒，很棒。哎，两个人一起来，两个人一起。
这个默契，这个默契。
不要假装没有看到，两位不要放空，两位不要放空。
哎，来，
可以一起比呀、干嘛？可以一起比呀、这样。哎，
这是一个非常含蓄的组合。
弟弟，
弟弟只是在抓头而已。
啊，口罩妈妈帮我把它戴好，谢谢，
谢谢。
正确的示范好吗？
全家一起，
耶
全家一起。
可爱可爱。嗨，又是你，你是不是上到镜头有点无奈了 ？OK，嗨，
来喽，就是你白色帽子的朋友，
不要假装没有你的事情，
你
就是你
不比，
哎，就是你，哎，惊慌了一下。OK，好，谢谢所有参与的朋友，好，谢谢所有参与的朋
After
友。
this game, 2 more. The 2 final Plus League preseason games. As the currently, temporarily, hopefully, debilitated Steven Tenjunan lays on the sideline. As coach suggested, perhaps a cramp.
He just looks exhausted.
Somebody's got to tell him they got 30 more games to go in the regular season. Omar commits the violation with steps.
It's interesting. Yesterday we saw the Kings run a lot of floppy action, a lot of baseline screens to get Steve-O and some of their other shooters open. Haven't really gone to that as much today. More of that 5-out offense. So again, it's our last time we'll get to see them here in the preseason. It'll be fun to see what they do in the regular season. As Steve-O, assist killer, KJ, shot misser, Steve-O Fowler. Just stop me whenever, Ryan.
Never. That ends in ER, so I continued it for you.
Exactly. Just another Steelers turnover. They may get up to 30 by the end of the game here, Ryan.
Yeah, medium Lou driving between 2 defenders is a risk. Bill trying to drive on Omar with a nice footwork.
You said it. Perfect drive. Little show and go Rondo reverse there. Using the rim. One of the few highlights for these Steelers in the second half.
2 guards and 3 forwards by the Steelers, and there's Omar's chance down the middle.
Yeah, and again, no weak side help on that pick and roll. Omar able to get to the rim and finish.
Jerry almost finished that play with 2, but it'll lead to Kings. The missed shot and another blind rebound by KJ.
But again, KJ just everywhere, tipping the ball out, giving these Kings another opportunity. And Steve-O with the nice extension, scoop, more second chance points, more hustle points. These Kings putting these Steelers away in the fourth.
Littleloo driving. He'll try to spin cycle. Can't hit there.
And these Steelers just kind of resorting to one-on-ones at the end of every possession. And again, with the talent that they have, it's not going to end in good possessions.
Aaron pass by Steve-O.
Speaking of not ending in a good possession.
Well, credit to Xiao for trying to save it.
We call that fake hustle, Ryan. And again, real no chance of getting the ball. I'm going to hustle and let everybody see how hard I'm working out there.
He has not played in the first half, so I guess he's got to get his cardio in. Medium move sidestepper, no. But his effort leads to Littleloo for the offensive board. They go at Sishin. And, well, there's another tough possession by the Steelers.
Again, just not much happening. Again, going after that mismatch, but really not a lot of individual scorers who can take advantage of mismatches. So the Kings continue to switch those actions.
Omar finishes with 2.
Yeah, just once again, a simple high pick and roll. 0 help from the weak side. Omar able to put it in off the glass.
There's a made bucket by Jerry. Kind of stemming the tide.
Yeah, cutting it to a 21-point game here with 8:30 left.
Pick and roll by 2 rookies. It'll be up to Xiao Li. And then up to Steve-O. A little bit of rough play there. But just a stop for the Steelers.
Again, seeing most of Steve-O's success happen behind the 3-point line. That time driving into not a lot of space. As we see a little miscommunication from those Kings. Chen trying to be that help defender, but a little undersized to do anything against Jerry.
I just thought of a Mandarin lesson. Una Wei Li. What do you got, Coach?
I got nothing. I'm waiting for Teacher Ryan to tell me everything.
And we got to teach Qing Su Yulan. There's a splash by Captain Lu.
And once again, just unbelievable individual shooting. Again, stepping back, shaking the defender, and such a high degree of difficulty.
JJ shoots in Derek's face, who's in the game for during the foul call on the last possession. And the loose ball foul by Omar.
Yeah, Omar continuing to put his physical presence, his mark on the game. Seems to get into it with somebody every game, but again, nothing malicious there. Just a guy who goes 100% all the time and sometimes forgets that he's a little bit bigger and stronger than the opponent.
His 3rd personal, 3 Kings fouls in the quarter. Dai Turn. I guess a poorly executed handoff with Captain Lu.
And this is where Xiao Li's really struggled. Again, we saw it last year when he was with the Lioneers. Obviously undersized, tries to get overly physical and usually ends up in foul trouble. This time against Captain Lu. Let's see if he can do a little bit better. Forcing the pass right there.
Jerry to the basket. Might have been the play of the day, but it rattles out. JJ hesitates, but will retreat. His 3. Just a Captain Lu rebound. Pulls up in transition. No. And number 1, Li Yingfeng had that knocked away. His first stint in this game.
Yeah, and he's somebody that probably is skilled enough to be in the lineup. Again, seen very limited minutes today, but a guy who's been around, a guy who's experienced, a guy with size. A guy not a particularly high percentage shooter from 3-point range, but able to hit 1 or 2. And again, he's somebody that I'm sure the Kings have high expectations for. Chen tries to pass right through his head, and instead passes it right out of bounds.
Well, if Chen played on a baseball team, his coach would be happy with a good relay. Well, good relay throw, not necessarily good relay.
Exactly.
There's a timeout on the floor as they get a little bit organized. Finishing off this Plus League preseason game. We'll go to a break and back after this.
뺏기에서 춤춰 you dumb dumb. 난네 머리끝 뺏기에서 춤춰 you dumb dumb. 나오가지 끌어떠는 내 생각을 이게 다 널 위한 거야 dumb dumb dumb. 수조하는 눈빛 보고 잔머리 굴리지 말고 let's play dumb dumb. Let's play dumb dumb. Let's play dumb dumb dumb. Hey dumb dumb. 네가 사랑에 빠진 건
Perhaps one last performance by the Plus girls in game number 9. First of 3 in the last day of the Plus League's preseason. Thanks to our sponsors and LP support. Kind of left off the action with number 1 Li Yingfeng. He's only played 36 minutes prior to this game and across 3 games. But of course, rehabbing his ankle that he hurt badly at the end of last season. Given a long runway to get back into action as we see Captain Liu leading the Steelers back on the floor. Not as heroic of a performance so far. 14 points, but joining a lot of other teammates in the plus minus, Captain Liu in particular, -3. It is after all the preseason, so.
Yeah, obviously last week really pumped to 1 go against the defending champions, 2 against his former head coach, and 3 in front of his home fans. So a little more subdued performance today from Captain Liu, but we know he's somebody that these Steelers are definitely going to count on during the regular season.
Now Li Yingfeng tries to go backboard, too strong. Thinking of a discard, Captain Liu's shot. No.
You said that Xiaoli was doing that YouTuber stuff. Looks like he's practicing some of his acting skills here during the game. As he gets warned for flopping.
Out of bounds off Sishin. Credit to him for the effort, but no result.
Again, the refs going to the table, never shying away from the spotlight. Letting them know it's an official flopping warning.
Appropriately, Xiaoli, center court. And the MC getting in a last word. I don't know if it's technically allowed by FIBA basketball rules.
But it's preseason.
It's a preseason. Backdoor, medium Liu. Couldn't get the shot off. Swarming defense by the Kings.
Let's see how the official scores count that one. Is that a turnover, a missed shot? Again, they're closing in on 30 here in the 4th quarter.
Omar thought about it, he gives it up. Xiaoli left on an island, he drives, brings one up, no. Jerry. Now Dennis. That one-on-one game, pass right to Xiaoli. And touchdown to JJ.
And this is turning into a practice session for the Kings. Just a sloppy play here from the Steelers. They look like they're ready to go back to Kaohsiung. They look like they're ready to forget about this preseason and wait for their imports to get out of quarantine and start to prepare for some real basketball games.
We saw a lot of errant passes trying to go long, but Xiaoli teaching them how to do it with the, what do we call that, drop in the bucket?
Well, it's a nice little lead pass, a nice little outlet pass, and again, these Steelers just passing it right to the Kings. The Kings really not doing much of anything, just standing in the right spot at the right time. And Again, if these Steelers are going to turn the ball over like this during the regular season, it's going to be a frustrating regular season for Coach Barry.
When you're in the game,
The official turnover count for the Steelers is at 26, thankfully for them. Stats all reset when the regular season starts.
Is there any way that our fans can see those stats, Ryan?
They can. Currently, the game is on PLEAGUE.com/game/171.
That's too many slashes. Let's just tell them the regular website and then tell them where to click.
PLEAGUEofficial.com, and you hit the Seiten/Beefen. And you scroll down until you see a little red indicator. That is the live game currently in progress. Fast break points for JJ. Both halves of this one.
I think the Steelers stuck on 73 points now. The Kings may have over 73 fast break points in this game. Again, they're just running drills out there.
Don't believe everything Coach Ben says. The current official count is 22. But maybe you want to challenge that.
I would love to challenge that. But
you do get one challenge, Coach. Jerry with a nice righty running hook.
Yeah, he said it just once again going one-on-one. Jerry coming out of the timeout, able to get to that left shoulder and put that right hand hook up.
Tank tried to jump the pass. It'll lead to a turnover. Now leading the break, Dennis to medium Lou, lay-in. Oh, a little excitement there for the Steelers.
Yeah, a quick little 4-0 run out of that timeout.
Omar will try to get one back. JJ pick and roll. Ling Fong Mason from the corner.
Again, we talked about it before. Obviously, it's preseason, so you don't worry as much about the final result. But the coaching staff, I'm sure in that last time out, just telling their guys, hey, it hasn't been the greatest game, but we still have 3 minutes and 20 seconds left to do something. Again, show us something. Let us go back into these next couple weeks and have something positive to look at. Again, whether it's those fast breaks that they just had or some solid defensive possessions. Again, you can definitely go into this break with a little bit of momentum, despite having a pretty poor performance today.
Looks like Omar tweaked something, so he'll head to the sidelines, and Zhang will take his place. A little unlucky there, but hopefully he'll recover in time for the Kings official first game of the season. Now there's a splash by Mason.
That's what we said Mason can give you. Again, not a prolific outside shooter, but somebody who hits it enough that he's got to be respected by the defenses. That's something we haven't seen this entire game. Nice little pick and roll. Beautiful weak side cut from the smallest player on the Steelers. Jerry coming out of this timeout, giving himself a little bit of positive momentum going into these couple weeks break.
Coach Ben is correct. Jerry is the shortest player, listed at 183 centimeters.
Why do you sound so surprised, Ryan?
Well, no, I'm giving you credit like you did your homework.
I know. I may not be the best student, but I do my homework.
That's the definition of a good student.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Well, I was going to say he was the shortest player on the court, but I believe there may be somebody shorter than him on the court.
That would be correct. Leading position.
No.
Kind of, I guess in another way, causes the foul. JJ catching and dribbling. We'll give it away to KJ. I wonder if the audience is ever confused by our JJ, KJ calls.
Probably not as confused as they are about Captain Lou, Big Lou, Little Lou, Louie. Let's just forget that three-pointer Lou.
Steelers basketball with about 2:30 left. Medium move from deep. Missing that one badly.
Well, that's one way to not turn the ball over. Just come over half court, one pass, jack up a three. Not really much of a risk of turning the ball over. As Xiao Li gets a little bit of oohs and ahs from the crowd by simply crossing it over, but
and picks the basketball up. Another turnover, near Kings possession. Interesting note, Coach. 5 Steelers, all 5 of the Steelers draft picks from this Plus League offseason. There's a bad air ball by Li Yingfeng.
As opposed to some of those good air balls that he's had in the past.
Maybe it looks a little better if it hits the net on the underneath side of the
We're
rim.
going to go back to if it hits the net, is it an air ball discussion, Ryan?
Dennis from the top with another brick, and active hands by Derek Austin. Huh.
And as we see the Steelers, not sure what you call him, interim head coach, Hong Chi-Tao. I'm sure he's going to be the happiest person in the world to see the real head coach get out of quarantine, and especially in somewhere like Taiwan where players really only listen to the head coach. It's been a tough couple months for him trying to lead this team and bring this group of strangers together into a cohesive unit. So again, kudos to him for these last couple months, and hopefully he sees a little bit more success when he drops back into the role that he probably signed up for when signing up with this Steelers team.
Well, we have a minute left. The 4th foul by Lan Shaofu. I got to correct myself. Actually, mistaken the bill. Lin Junhao with medium Lu. So not all 5 of the Steelers draft picks.
I was going to say something, but I know you'd correct yourself, Ryan.
Shaofu down low on the block. Got a little too spin happy. As we get one more foul. This free throw by Little Lu. Hong Chi-Tao called the Wei Xiao Pao Tai. I had to look that one up. The smiling turret.
I don't even know what turret means in English, Ryan.
Sentry?
That I don't know either. He's busting all these SAT words out on me.
Turnover by the Kings. Hong Chi-Tao was a Southerner, born in Pingtung. He played for 5 SBL teams for 10 seasons. Patrolling the sidelines.
Yeah, a solid player in his right. Good guy who gets out in transition and definitely would fit today's style as he got up a lot of threes. He retired 7 or 8 years ago and moved into coaching like most of these Taiwanese players do after they retired. So good to see him back involved in Taiwanese basketball.
He was coaching at the middle school and university levels down there. After his first field goal, Derek Austin makes a free throw, and the Steelers will hang on to the basketball to conclude this game. 100-82 in a preseason basketball game. As we have a curious stoppage of the clock. I guess there's an execution error and perhaps a turnover.
Hey, the refs got to make sure they get that last turnover to count. As mercifully this game comes to an end. It's competitive for about
2.5 quarters.
Minutes.
Oh, 17 minutes?
I think so.
Okay, then. Thank you, fans, for sticking with us for however long you have. Following this game will be the Braves and Pilots But before that, a player to be interviewed post-game. As Captain Liu exchanging words with Lance Chen Sinian. Told his story, played a comeback season of sorts with the Taiwan beer team last year in their championship run. Anyways, the player to be interviewed after the game is amigo Yang Qingming, as the Kings and Steelers head to their locker rooms. So good job to Taipei, who did 2 games yesterday, and the first game, I should say, of today's lineup. He'll be giving way to Eddie Zhang Yaozong, asking Amigo about the goals they had for the preseason. Amigo saying that working together and developing some chemistry is task number 1. Also, letting the rookies know the level of play and level of contact in the pro level. Now Taipei asking about Amigo improvement in performance and his role on the team from yesterday to today. Amigo saying he's flexible and skilled and experienced, so he can be adaptable and fulfill many different roles and needs. After being Plus League first team last year, Amigo saying he's put aside his personal goals to make sure the team has success. They're just excited to open up a new frontier in New Taipei. First win in the preseason for the Kings, but we'll go to a break, wrapping up this one. Thanks for watching the Plus League preseason.
But today I'm off the Henny. Thinking about Nipsey, nigga, had to get tipsy. Gave my heart to the gang, do it a gang. It's a no-go with some niggas from the gang. Nigga, do you for some promo. This shit in my veins, I done tattooed the logo. They thought they gon' judge me, he a member, it's for social. But I don't care about what they think at all. Keep this world alone, I'ma leave alone, standing tall. Chin up, chest poked out like, chin up, chest poked out like, my life be polar. Ups and downs like a roller coaster. Chin up, chest out till it's over. I can't let this life sober. I'm out on bail, these motherfuckers trying to get me, but I won't tell. So with some time they trying to hit me. I'm innocent as fuck, but they trying to prove that I'm guilty. The lower fees is crazy. Thank God I'm playing with millions. In love with the streets, you by yourself when they get tricky. Even with my homies, all I think about is Nipsey. Usually shit tequila, but today I'm off the Henny. Thinking about Nipsey, nigga, had to get tipsy. It's about to go down. 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 Stop it, 我们只敢大事，就像 T.I. 我只敢
飞我干大的，没注意眼睛我开大的，我在干大事你不要乱，那些零头小利留着你可不要赚，承认吧没有好处的活谁要干，没有在玩这种黄金我们不靠岸，女人想要钻戒，无形中的饭店，小子没有碰过火的白金没有概念 ，work hard 到半夜，其他人都在睡，我们来的地方每个兄弟都叫上位，谁管黑怕还不黑怕，太小家子气，国中还没毕业我就学会做生意，天生干大事的笑脸当比富二代争气，没有含着金汤匙操公司风老师意，做大金找大家你知道我读的那年经理节，没些发表，没有些 stop， 我们只干大事，就像 DI， 我想干大事我干大的，你别 key 乱是我干大的。
Wrapping up this one from National Taiwan University. Game 09, however you say it, of the Plus League preseason. One last look at Chen Ziwei, the head coach for the Zhenzi University basketball team, and Taipei, who will be giving way to Eddie on the Mandarin broadcast. I'm Ryan Chen, along with Coach Ben on the English broadcast. Looking at the team totals from today's game, to quickly summarize, the Steelers started out things hot, opening up to a 9-point lead, but from the second half and the rest of the way, it was all New Taipei Kings.
Yeah, you see the Kings just playing team basketball, having 28 assists, and obviously the Steelers' biggest issue is that bottom left with 27 turnovers. I'm not sure if Ryan was counting the points off turnovers. I'm sure he was, so I'm sure he'll be able to give you a very accurate number, but I'm sure the Kings' points off turnover was very, very high. Ryan?
Is 18 really high?
Yeah, 18 is unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
Well, they lost by 18, so I mean, if you don't turn the ball over, hey, you're looking at a tie game. There's math, Ryan.
Look at Coach Benz making sense out of math. Yeah. Well, Coach, what do you think the expectations are by the coaches and the front offices when it comes to the basketball performance?
I think their expectation is to forget about this preseason and start from scratch once their imports get in.
So coming up, switch to the next link. It's the Taipei Fubon Braves against the Taoyuan Pilots. More Plus League preseason. The second of 3 games here. We got a long way to go, Coach.
Oh, gonna get some caffeine and get ready for games 2 and 3, and I'm sure that our fans at home are doing the exact same thing.
Thanks for watching. Leave a like before we head out. We'll see you in the next one.
我们不说价，干完再坐下，
都坐下，
给我一盘下，看我荧光你的衣服全部都脱下。在这晚上我们不讲冷静。